This may trigger you, but we got to talk about it. I personally think that a lot of women in today's day and age are okay with a man cheating as long as that man is paying for the bills and the lifestyle. Because you hear it all the time. Oh, I want a man who looks good. I want a man who makes six figures. I want a man who, can pay for my whole lifestyle where I don't have to worry about anything. I want to be a boss babe. All right, cool. Now you get that man. You got the lifestyle. He's paying for everything, but you forget something that comes with that lifestyle most times. Most of the time, especially if the man is good looking, that man has options. That means a lot of times you're not the only one, because why would he not? He looks good. He makes over six figures. He has money. He's well to do. He has a good job. All of the things that women want to look for in that 1% man. But now that 1% man has 100% of the women a lot of times chasing after the same man. So you got him, which is dope. Great. Now you're happy. But you're not the only one who has him. You may be the main one, even, but you're not usually the only one. And a lot of women will overlook that fact. Well, he's mine. He comes home to me, or, he pays for everything. I would rather be happy in a Benz and cry there than, broken, miserable, with nothing. A lot of people say that, but are you really okay with that? Or are you just in denial? Are you trying to tell yourself that, so when that really happens to you, it can kind of like soften the blow a little bit, like give you a little cushion and be like, well, I signed up for this, and, I know what he looks like and I know what he does and what he brings to the table. So a lot of other women want him. So as long as he comes home to me and, I have this beautiful lifestyle that we live, then I'm okay. But are you really? And you can even really ask yourself, is this really even about gender? Like, would men do this as well? And I think some men would, but it just seems more often than not in today's day and age, you usually see this with women, because a lot of women have like the old school mentality where they say, I want to be a stay at home wife. I don't want to have to work. You don't usually hear a lot of men say that. Like, men could say that, but usually the men have to be the go getters, at least to some extent. Yes, you have stay at home, dads and things of that nature. But again, that's usually not the case. But you usually still hear women that say, well, I want this and that kind of lifestyle, or be a stay at home mom and take care of the kids in the household and so on. Again, cool. But you do not understand what usually comes with that 99% of the time. And then I feel like this is what happens. It's more so silent acceptance and tolerance versus actually being okay. You really don't like it. You don't like that he cheats, or you don't like that he says, oh, yeah, I'll be home later, or I'm going out, or whatever the case may be, because you know what that usually means. Or at least you have a good gut feeling on what that means. But you accept it because you don't want to ruin the lifestyle. You don't want to let that go. You don't want to be like, well, I don't want to be without the nice car or the nice big house, or, vacationing multiple times a year, going to the Louis store or wherever that, go, so you can just shop at the drop of a hat. So you'll sit there and you'll tolerate it. But are you really okay with it? Some people are. There really are. There are some women who are totally okay with that because they're taken care of and that's all they care about. So, more power to them. But a lot of women, I would say 8 out of 10 more so just accept it in silence. And this is why you see so many women who, after a while, they're just upset and they're broken because they really don't have a true relationship or true love. They thought they did, but what they really had was, the acceptance and the love that they had was bought. And now you're sitting there because you have a person who may not truly, love you the way you want to love them, and you may not love them the way you think you do. You just love the lifestyle. So are you even really happy, and is it even really worth it? I would say no. In relationships like this, at the end of the day, it's more like a written contract or an agreement, not a partnership, because it's too one-sided. And this is also why most of these types of relationships don't last, or the person or both are just miserable. This is why at the end of the day, it's always good to be a person and or woman who can bring something to the table, have your own career, your own job, something that makes you, other than just looks, be in that relationship to be like, you know what, if all else fails, I can leave. Even if it's something that you agreed upon early on, if you change your mind or you start seeing something that where you're like, you know what, this isn't, this ain't that. This is not what I thought this was. You can exit. Because a lot of people will say, oh, the cheating is too much. I thought I was okay with it, or I turned a blind eye. I'm out of here. But when you're totally codependent on someone financially, it's not always that easy to leave. You see it a lot. It's really not. You think it is, but it's not. Or if you do, it might take you longer to get out of that situation than you thought it would. But if you have your own career, something to fall back on, or you're setting yourself up to bring, I say, hey, at the end of the day, this is great, but I don't need this. It's more than what I have, but at the end of the day, I'm okay because I have my own job and my career and I can do this. You know what? I'm going to step away. Because at the end of the day, you want a partnership. You want to be with someone, you care about them, they care about you. That's what the relationship should be built on, not financial or materialistic things. And I think a lot of people miss that.